Hello. In this module of Ideas to Venture program, we will talk about creating a strong marketing and sales plan. So when you are building a startup, it's very important that you should have good understanding of your marketing and sales strategy. And along with that, we'll also explore about what is a branding and what is the role of branding when it comes to your venture. We'll talk about customer acquisition and also sales strategy. So these are very important thing to grow your business, and let's understand that in this module. Now, typically, even we ask these questions to candidates who are doing their MBA to differentiate between branding, marketing, and sales. They don't able to do that. So you don't need to do an MBA to know this. We will quickly help you understanding it. So let's understand what is the difference first between the marketing and sales, right? Sales is when you actually end up selling your product, right? So you have a product or services which you will take it to the customer, and also look at the customer service and satisfaction. So that's what sales deal with. And marketing is nothing but backbone of your sales, where you would try to do the activities which will communicate this value proposition to the end customer, so that it is the supporting your sales kind of a thing. So what exactly marketing deals with? Marketing deals with your channels, campaigns, promotion, various medias, advertising, offers, and then SEO, right, which is the online marketing part of it. Now, when it comes to marketing and advertising, marketing is like creating a plan, right? What is your value proposition and how you are going to communicate it to the customer, resulting into the sales. Whereas advertising is actually execution of it. So the advertising is nothing but subset of your marketing, but marketing is the bigger pie kind of a thing. And then branding is a backbone of marketing, because you need to have a name, logo, tagline, your color schemes, font, and brand personality to market your brand, right? So if you look at each of these steps, each of them have a vital role when it comes to taking your product or services to the end customers. So let's understand them in detail. Now, what does a branding include, right? Let's understand. So the first step about branding is when you decide the name of the company, right? I mean, the name, as I said, the company name and brand name can be a different, but your brand name has to be very, very important first aspect of it. You can either keep a brand name and the logo separate, but your brand name as well as logo creates a distinctive and memorable identity of your brand. So if you look at some interesting logos, you remember them because their logos are interesting, so their brand names are interesting. So you have to first of all finalize it, that okay, is your name is going to be your logo, or your name is going to be separate and logo is going to be separate. Then you have to create you have to choose a color palette, right? Because each of this brand has a different identity, and the color schemes create a strong emotional connection with your customers. And this exercise is very important, where you need to understand. So I'll tell you an example. One of the venture I experimented was trying to set up a grain business. Now, when the grain business which we were talking about, the color schemes which we were talking about is something yellow, green, which talks about the agriculture products, right? Now, when you are talking about services business, you have to think of it like, okay, are you offering that to the B2B customer or B2C customers? And then if you are offering it to B2B customer, you have to make sure that your colors are not very bold, right? And the bold colors are being used when you wanted to distinguish yourself. So you would have seen, if you look at our own entity, right? The Career Corner is the entity under which Merito is a brand. Though Merito is a brand which is catered to B2B audiences, we made sure to differentiate it and make it bold, we have kept it in the red. But if you look at the Career Corner, you will find the colors like orange, gray, which is typically are not that have not that bold appeal kind of a thing. Now then there is a tagline and mission. The tagline should catchy to attract your target audience, and this tagline sometimes are very important because customer remember you for a tagline. Mission statement should clearly define your company's purpose and values. Sometimes these mission statement can be different from your tagline, but if your tagline can capture every essence of it, like Career Corner's tagline is unlock your potential, right? So when we deal with the students, professionals, organization, we believe that each one of them have an innate potential, and our services should able to help them to discover and unlock it. And that's how the tagline plays an important role. When it comes to Merito Hub, the tagline you would see the crafting careers, where the Merito Hub services are aimed at helping the end consumers or end customers to actually craft and build their careers, right? So that's how the taglines play an important role. And now we looked about the branding, right? The branding part we looked at, but when it comes to acquiring the customer, the customer acquisition, be it a B2C or B2B, goes through this very important funnel, and you need to understand this funnel because it has an implication of your online, offline marketing, your sales strategies. And any customer will not gonna make a purchase decisions until and unless there is awareness about what you are doing. And that's where the role of marketing comes into picture, where how you can create awareness about your brand and then create an interest of the brand, right? So these know who are your customers and know what they want, gather data and insight to better target your customer base, right? So you identify your customers who are interested. I mean, just to give you an example, most of our services in Merito Hubs aimed at students who are still pursuing their graduation or they have completed their graduation. So we know that, okay, this is a segment who is thinking about building their careers or crafting their careers. So it has been defined that, okay, this is the customers we are going to target. Now create awareness among your customers, social media, then influencer, pamphlet, advertorials. The awareness helps you to create a reach to your customer, right? And then the customer will take interest, active interest in your product or services, and then you have to create offers or drive conversions that add value to your customer, or drive conversions which add value to your customers, right? So someone is considering your brand, right? Like they wanted, like they are not yet decided or not at but they are still in consideration. So in this stage, typically, if you connect with your customers, answer their queries, or you provide them some benefit like promotional offers, they can convert from consideration to intent. Intent is when then they actually willing to buy that, right? If the online business, you need to make sure that this intent is quickly transformed into purchase, right? So someone goes on your product, checked it out, added into the cart. So that is where they actually have the intent of buying it, right? And if they are left that product on the cart, you have to figure out, okay, why it is happening. And then there is an evaluation. The person will evaluate it and then purchase it. Post intent, people would like to evaluate, and typically that's the reason you would see most of this at the cart stages when people add and they have not made it purchase. There are still companies put testimonial or benefits people have drawn so that there's evaluation quickly happening. Even the review of the product would be seen till you buy it, and then there is a final purchase happen. And then if the customer and this one's last step which is not mentioned here is post purchase. If your customers really like your product or service, they become your advocate and they will help you to create further awareness on your product. So very important to understand this funnel. As I said, it has implications on both your marketing and sales strategies. Now, reaching customer through the online channels. Let's understand. We talked about, right, when you have to reach the customer, there are multiple avenues to do that. There are online avenues and then there are offline channels. So when we are talking about offline channel, these are newspapers, magazines, hoardings, pamphlet, events, or even doing a cold call. These are the offline channels. Now, most of the businesses are creating their awareness reach through the online media, and these medias are become very, very important. The first and foremost is your website. Then if you are running a store, you should be there on a Google map. If you want to reach out to the particular targeted customers who are there on a social media, then YouTube, then your Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, then you can categorize, okay, what kind of customers you are looking to aim at. And then there are online sellings. If you want to sell something, your website is not there yet, you can sell it to the marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, if that's a food product, Paytm, Blinkit, 1mg if it is medicinal product. And then there is online marketing, right? You can do email marketing, SMS marketing, WhatsApp marketing. WhatsApp is coming big way into the marketing now. All above platforms, and this can be used for paid advertising. So there is something called programmatic, right, which helps you to distribute your online spend. And then there is affiliate marketing, right, where people will act as, or platforms or people will act as your affiliate and then connect you to the end customer. So this is the, like, what all possibilities of online and offline channel which to promote your businesses. Now let's understand the online in little bit detail. So there are two divisions in the online, right? Either you can create a push marketing or there is a pull marketing. So when you have to create a pull marketing, you have to use avenues like SEO and content marketing. So what is SEO and content marketing? So SEO is a search engine optimization process of maximizing number of visitors which are coming to your website, making website appears high on the list results. So when you search on a Google, if your website appears high, people will check it out, and then they will make their purchase decision. The content plays a very important role. When you distribute a content out either on your website or other platforms, people will read that content, come to know about you, and then come to your websites. Now when it comes to push marketing, there are the pay-per-click kind of advertiser like Google and YouTube works like that. These are search advertisement, where if someone is searching for something, your product will come on the top, and that's what the Google or pay-per-click advertisement works. Email marketing is when you are sending a curated email to your end customers. Again, push for creating the pull, where you are pushing your product or services to customer through the emails. Then paid social marketing is where you use a social media to promote your business in most of these social media channels. And then social media ads are visuals or branded and quite native to the platform, so they can sometimes be hard to identify as ad, right? Because you are there on the YouTube and suddenly ad comes, it's easy to know, but when you are browsing through the other social media platforms and there is a relevant ad comes into that, you don't realize it's actually an ad, but it acts as an advertisement, creating further awareness about that brand or product, right? Influence and affiliate marketing. So influencer marketing is collaboration with social media influencers. See, these are celebrities, these are sometimes people who have a particular following, right? Affiliate marketing is partnering with other businesses to promote product or given a commission on your sales. So these act as an affiliate to your businesses. Now B2B, let's understand how to turning leads into customer, right? So unlike B2C, B2B is a more complex. Both have its own way of approaching it, but B2B is more relationship, long drawn process. So let's understand, when you are selling something B2B, like one of our division, Merito.ai, is aimed at only providing services to the companies, and that's the B2B business where mostly the initial set of business will come from the relationship. So customers are more likely to purchase from someone they trust, right? Build strong, long-lasting relationship with your customer and how to keep them engaged and loyal. So I'll give you an example. The first quarter of Merito.ai, when we introduce our recruitment services, I reached out to people who know me in my network, right? So they can then be, I can engage with them, and they know that, okay, they can trust, and that's how the first set of customers will come. But even if it is like someone you know, someone you don't know, they will definitely negotiate. And then negotiation is critical skills when it comes to any of the sales. It helps you to close deals and handle objections, right? Because there would be questions, and then there's questions, and they will have their own the suggestions or recommendation on your commercials and the way terms of engagement. Then upselling and cross-selling is, once you acquire a customer, you want to keep growing that relationships, and upselling and cross-selling, then you add value to what you draw out of that account. And then gathering customer feedback, it's very vitally important when you are selling something to the B2B customers, that listening to what they want and working accordingly, find out what is not working, gather customer feedback and inform the respective departments about it. Now, negotiation is very important aspect when it comes to B2B, and you need to be aware about that, right? So in any of the purchase, right, in even a B2B purchase, first of all, there would be discovery, then there is preparation, and there is a negotiation, right? So when you are getting into a stage where you have to sell something, and before doing this negotiation, the first thing is you have to do is discover, identify who are the stakeholders, learn how to recognize the key players and their motivation in the negotiation. There are the few, someone who might introduce you, someone might be a decision maker. So knowing your customer and access the what they would be looking at your product or services, right? So typically maybe if you are providing a training services, someone who is training manager will look at the training content. Someone who has at the leadership level will more look at the return on the training spend, kind of a thing. So you need to know who are the stakeholders and what you are communicating to them. Very important when you are doing a B2B sales is your non-verbal communication, importance of body language and how to interpret subtle cues, right? And that's where it's very important when you are having this meeting one-to-one, where your body language is seen, or you can see the other person's body language. When preparing for this meeting, right, you need to make sure that you do the cost value assessment, because you will have a certain cost in your mind, customer have a certain expectation on the cost on his mind, but you have to meet both ends and then communicate that, okay, how this cost is justified, kind of thing, and negotiate, right? And negotiation is another art, and where you need to make sure that when you're negotiating with someone, you are actively listening, right? Because if you don't listen and just wanted to put forward what you wanted to say, the other person would not like it, and they might not end up doing the purchase decision. And then respect the cultural differences, gain insight on navigating negotiation abroad different cultures. There are different ways people negotiate. Someone don't believe in hard negotiation, someone believes in negotiation, someone feel offended when you offer something which might not have been expected, kind of a thing. So you have to be very, very focused on, okay, what are the underlying cultural differences when it comes to negotiation, what extent you should also do your own strategy, develop your own strategy, and identify till what extent you wanted to go when it comes to negotiating. Now, handling difficult tactics, sometimes these are some of the ways where you can deal with the negotiation, like aggressive behavior, effectively address aggressive tactics while maintaining composure. So I'll give you example, right? So though we tell our customers that, okay, Merito is not HR consultancy, we get compared with the other HR consultancies. So sometimes they say that, okay, all HR consultancies say so, what is the difference about you? So not to get someone when become an aggressive, make sure that you handle that question well, answer those questions which create a confidence, right? Emotional manipulation, recognize and neutralize emotional manipulation techniques used by a skilled negotiator, right? Like sometimes people will say, oh, you are just starting, why don't you take what we are offering you? I mean, it's it's better than not having anything, right? And that's like emotional manipulation. You will think that, okay, I'm getting a deal, but it should not be end of the day a raw deal where you are not convinced and you will end up losing money on that. Bluffing and deception, learn how to detect and respond to deceptive techniques to protect your interests. I mean, sometimes people use that, okay, a statement like, oh, we have hundreds of providers providing services to us, why we should consider you? I mean, if they have hundreds, they would not have been in a position where they look for 101, right? I mean, recently someone said us this thing, and we know that it's a point blank bluffing. I mean, no one can deal with hundreds of providers at one time, right? So you have to understand that what's the intent about this deception or a bluffing statement like like this. Now, it's very important if you're doing a marketing and sales that you should take a data-driven decisions, because you should have the KPIs that before you measure success, you need to identify key performer indicators, right? So KPI examples are how many people are visiting your website, how many people are actually visiting your stores, what is your customer acquisition cost, like cost of acquiring one customer, and you should be on the top of these KPIs. You should create a dashboard. I mean, you should create a dashboard which can visualize the data so that you can make data-driven decisions, right? If you visualize number of people visiting your website on daily basis, you'll know what is a trend, and you could see that, okay, people are coming more on particular time of the day or particular time in the week, and then you can maximize your marketing efforts on that particular time or day. And then analyze ROI, right? Identify your return on investment is essential to measuring your success and improving your marketing and sales strategy, because it is a cost after all, right? And you need to look at, if you are incurring a cost, what is the return on investment you are getting out of it, right? So sales and marketing required continuous and consistent effort to make a startup a success. It is very, very important. However big, good, interesting product or services you have, you need to market it, you need to sell it, and until and unless you do it, it won't reach us to your end customer and they won't make a buying decision. So with that, we'll take a pause here. I think you would, I hope you understand the importance of sales and marketing and how to approach it. And we will look forward to having you in the next sessions where we'll talk you about how to run your business, right? So that's it for now. Thank you very much.